I always thought love was about sacrifice. That's what my mother told me when I first met Daniel at a college bookstore 15 years ago. He was so charming back then, all easy smiles and daydream promises. I gave him everything. 10 years of marriage, 10 years of building his dream while burying my own. I worked 2 jobs to put him through med school. I gave up my dream of opening a flower shop called Lavender and Sage. Flowers felt silly, he said once. They don't pay bills, Nora, he'd laugh. So I kept my lavender-scented journal hidden. Daniel had this habit, snapping his fingers whenever he wanted attention. At a party, for the waiter, in the house, to call the dog. It grated on me, but I never said anything. Once, I tried to snap my fingers, just playing along. I couldn't do it properly. He laughed so loudly that everyone stared. It's cute but useless, he said. I try to tell myself it was just a silly thing, not important. But even now, saying it out loud feels like confessing a tiny silly shame. When he finished med school, we moved into a bigger house, bought a new car, celebrated anniversaries with expensive dinners. But slowly, he began looking past me. One evening, I found a receipt for a luxury hotel spa weekend for 2. My name wasn't on it. My hands shook as I confronted him. He just looked at me tired, like I was a burden. Nora, you're holding me back. I need someone who inspires me. He filed for divorce, left me with nothing. The house, the accounts, all his. I left with 2 suitcases and my lavender journal. I ended up in a cramped apartment above a laundromat. I spent days in a haze, living on crackers and instant noodles. Maya, my best friend, tried to help but didn't understand. At least you're free now, she said. Free? I felt like a ghost. Mrs. Khan, my elderly neighbor, knocked one night with lentil soup. She sat silently beside me while I cried. Pain is a guest, she said. Don't let it decorate your house. Her quiet kindness became my lifeline. I found work at a grocery store, scanning endless items, each beep echoing my emptiness. One night, I found my lavender journal while unpacking. Sketches of bouquets, scribbled notes, pressed petals. I sat on the floor and sobbed. That journal became my anchor. I started making tiny arrangements from clearance flowers. I posted photos online under a fake name. Eli, a young event planner, noticed them. He was wild and full of odd ideas. He told me my flowers looked like they were breathing. He offered me a small job making centerpieces. At that event, I almost fled when people started arriving. But then, a woman approached, eyes shining, and asked if she could take a bouquet home. My heart stuttered awake. Eli hugged me afterward and said, "You're magic, Nora." I opened a market booth, lavender and sage. Mrs. Khan insisted on being my first customer. Maya started helping every weekend. Slowly, I felt human again. Sophie, Daniel's new wife, came to my booth one morning. She looked so fragile, her eyes swollen from crying. She confessed Daniel had cheated on her too. We shared coffee and quiet tears. It felt strange, like mourning a shared ghost. Daniel's practice started to crumble. Rumors of fraud and malpractice spread. One Saturday, he came to my booth. His face was pale, his eyes hollow. Nora, we should talk, he said. He suggested a wellness brand partnership, merging my flowers with his clinic. It was absurd. Sophie and I met that night. Over cheap wine, we pieced together everything she knew. Instead of a big scene, we worked quietly. Sophie sent documents to the medical board. I pulled away before his new venture even launched. On his big announcement day, he stood alone in an empty conference room. His license under review, investors gone. A week later, I opened my flower boutique. Lavender and sage, real at last. Maya prepared snacks. Eli helped decorate. Mrs. Khan bragged to everyone. The lavender scent wrapped around me like a new skin. Daniel stormed in, furious. This? You think this makes you better than me? I felt a calm I had never known. I looked toward Eli, waiting by the door. And then I raised my hand and snapped my fingers. The sound was sharp and clean. It startled him. For a moment, I almost laughed. That snap, his old weapon, now mine. I pretended it didn't matter, like it was just a reflex, but inside, it felt like thunder. Eli let him out. I turned back to my flowers, feeling the lavender hug me from within. My journal lay open behind the counter, its pages finally blooming into life. Some seeds only sprout after fire, and some women learn to snap their fingers at the perfect time. I did.